What's going on, traders? Happy Wednesday, May 3rd to everybody. FOMC is behind us. Thank God. I never really enjoy trading during the weeks where we have major data to be released, and it is finally behind us. FOMC estimates came in line with that 2.5 basis points that we were talking about. Markets kind of traded in a bit of a range for a little bit as Powell was speaking around 2:30, and then finally broke that range to the downside, and there was some nice sellers coming in and pushing the markets lower. So they did close in the negative today, 0.69%. Final print was 408.02. But we've had some interesting after hours action, and we'll go over that in a moment. But before we get into anything further, of course, this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. And if you're enjoying the content that I am providing about the market, don't hesitate to like this video, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you are alerted every time we do post new information about trading and the markets. So with that being said, we are looking at the daily chart here on the S&P 500. And I was mentioning there has been some interesting developments in after hours, and I'm gonna have to see, where are we now? Okay, we're at 4865. More so in futures, but we'll go over that in a moment. But just from the daily view here, we have closed below the 9 and the 20 EMA, so those are the short-term crucial moving averages. We still have the 50 right underneath this around 405, 50, 55, we'll call it. And we're not, the bears, this is a good sign for the bears. If they can close again underneath, we could see more selling pressure down into tomorrow. But we'll have to see. We'll go over some levels that the bulls are going to need to recapture, and that the bears want to push us under to continue that sell side. But from the looks of it right now, this move above so far has provided two fake breaks over this trend line that we've been watching. Broke over here, sold, broke over again, and sold back down. So that is interesting. The bears are fighting back with tooth and nail. I'm trying to push the market down, but so far the bulls still have just been able to push us back up. So it's really been this back and forth battle right now. And sure, we have this this broader consolidation that we've been watching for a while. But really, if you want to look at it, and it's probably better illustrated on the fibs. And we went over this yesterday on the fibs. And here we did close below the 20, but more or less, the broader consolidation, is still like this. So, here we can certainly make a bit of a case for an M pattern starting to form, which is usually bearish. But, again, if we break, these, what is this? This is April lows. What's the number here? 407.40, 407.45. Yeah, so if we can start to get under these lows, we'll probably see that selling back down to the 38.2. And then we'll have to see what the buy reaction is. We could come back up, back test the 32.6 and then come back down. That's kind of bigger picture stuff. But either way, I'll be watching to see if they actually can break out of this consolidation. Like we said, this M pattern is usually a bearish pattern. So we'll have to see if that plays out, but really meaningless until we break this range. So yeah, and I guess really here you could make a case for a head and shoulders as well, but same situation, that if this is the neckline, it's really going to have to be taken out. We're watching the low of this candle, but really probably we should be watching the low of the 27th of April here to see about that move down to the 38.2. So I'm going to be still watching that 407.45 area, but then I'll also be watching to see if they can sweep these lows at 406.74, 75, we'll call it. And if that's the case, then we could see another, $2 or so move down to the 38 here. So We'll watch that very closely. But certainly daily candle here was mostly sellers on the volume here. A lot of volume though overall. We did go over the 30-day average today by quite a bit, but the current sell volume was 96%, which is pretty aggressive. So not many buyers in sight, at least on this candle. And you can see that the full body here on that candle. So let's just take a look if there's anything else we want to take a look at. Let's look at these daily trends. What's going on here? All right, we still have this, and we have broken below. I mean, not really too much. I mean, really, actually, we're going to look at this. Let me take this off. And I don't have it prepped, and I hate to do it on the video here because I know that the attention spans usually don't last. But I'm going to do it pretty ugly. But hopefully you guys can get the idea. But we have a bit of a diamond pattern here taking place. So could this be a diamond top? We're looking at this area here. All right. So we'll have to see. This is right at the make or break trend line pretty much for that potential diamond top. And maybe I'll clean this up in a little bit and post it on my Twitter. You can follow me if you don't already at @_shark_trader on Twitter. But here I'm trying to clean it up for you guys really quickly so you can kind of see what I'm talking about if it's not as clear. But hopefully you get the idea right here. And yeah, so we'll have to see if this plays out, which could be interesting considering it's at the top of the trend. Very ugly when I edit it, but I can fix it. But we'll have to see. So that's interesting. And we'll have to see, what happens. All right, so let's look into what we're looking at here for tomorrow. Now, of course, we're going to have to see, actually, I don't want to do this one. I have to see what it looks like in pre-market, but, I was talking about this before, and actually, let me just go back. I'm going to go to here. Just back to this channel here. We were watching this downtrend channel, for a while that we were trading in. We kind of broke it, fake break. We got that huge rally back up. Nice moves here. And now we had come back into the channel. You can see the 5 o'clock low right around that 405 pivot again. You can see reaction here as well, and of course the whole number and the pivot level as well. And boom, big move up, and you can see this recapture now of that broken down trend, and this has all been in the evening session where we've had a really nice bounce and are coming up higher. So that's been pretty impressive for the bulls, and here you can see a bit of that head and shoulders kind of pattern, probably around this 410 area, which has been very important. It's been that neckline for the bigger pattern there. So shoulder, head. So yeah, but that looks like it's already done what it needed to do, and now we're coming back and retracing. So certainly a strong move. You can see here what we've dealt with, and after all, it's been a hell of a move to the upside. Slowing down now, of course, but it is late. So either way, what am I looking for as far as tomorrow is concerned? Let me actually go back to this one. I might have to, I don't really need to see about redoing these. All right, well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see how this develops. What I'm thinking is a very high possibility. We come in and maybe look for a 50% retracement. We're almost there, to be honest. But let's actually do this really quickly. Let me remove these levels. Let's do this. Just to see, because what we could look for here, we're not quite there. I'm doing this pretty quick as well, so let me get it a little quick. Okay, there we go. About a 50% retracement of this move. Now it's happening, here pretty much in the overnight session. But we'll have to see what, we could continue to come up. If we start to get over the 50% retracement and close over this 409.45 area, we'll call it, we'll probably have the opportunity to come and retest this area here at the 68, these lows from 10 and 11. So I'll be watching for that, and then from there we could see. I might be thinking more of a short at that point, so we might end up keep continuing up, come into this 410.50 area, 45, and then roll back over and come down. It's really just we're gonna have to see how we open up in the morning. But if this was the morning, that's kind of what I would be thinking that would happen. If we do start to sell, if we come into the 20 here, and then we start to sell back down, if we come into, and it's the 23.6 here, if we come back into this area, depending on the time, we've got a nice confluence for a potential long off this fib, off again with the BRB on the downtrend channel back test. So if we do sell either in the morning and we're coming down into here, I probably personally would take a long. I might even consider one here at this value area low, but this will probably shift, as the volume profile opens up from the morning and kind of adjusts. But either way, the fib levels really won't change unless we really make a new swing high or low, and I doubt that's going to happen overnight. But like I said, if we come into this area around that 407, could be a nice area to pick up some longs and try to get back up. Of course, overall it is still a counter trend trade because we're downtrending. So when that happens, of course, you do it with smaller size and you just take it level to level, and you lower your expectations. But as far as right now is concerned, yeah, sure. We have a bit of a trend, but even with this move, you could kind of start to make a case. Look how steep the rate of attack is. You can start to make a case for a bit of a rising wedge here. So I don't know how long this rally is going to last. So we'll have to see. If we just end up consolidating here, like I said, we'll have to see where we open, but it's very possible we do come up, hit the 50. Maybe we don't even get over the 50 and we don't see the 61. Maybe we just hit the 50 and then start to roll over and come down to here, and then we bounce back up. Another thing to consider, like I was mentioning before, is we do have Apple earnings tomorrow. Apple's a high beta name, as everyone knows. So if Apple is choppy or tentative into the earnings, then the markets will be. Another scenario is that if they try to run Apple up, and we see it with some relative strength, that could help drive the market, maybe lead us to a little bit of a trend day, and potentially trap some bears off sides who were late getting in long from this move down, and then we can see a nicer move. If we get over that 6-1, we'll have to see about this about the 76 or 78, excuse me, and then maybe even a little fake break over into the 412.30 area, hit POC, and then cut back down. That could be another scenario as well, a little bit kind of less likely, but hey, anything could happen. So we have to be aware for all those situations. For the short side, yeah, if we do end up breaking and closing under this 407 and certainly under the 406, call it 35 here, probably look for a move back down to 45, to 405. And if they can sweep that, then we'd probably be looking, and depending on what time of day it is, probably looking to retest the bottom of this channel here. So that would probably be around 403, and depending 403.50, 403.60, maybe 403.80. It just depends on what time of day it is, because obviously it's slanted there. So we'll have to see. But that's what I would be looking for if that ends up breaking. So we'll have to see what we look like in pre-market, and then we'll have a better idea of what's going on. But those are some loose plans that I am mapping out. I hope that helps, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your day or evening, and wish you the best trading tomorrow. Remember to follow your rules, stay disciplined, and don't force any trades unnecessarily. All right, have a good night.